Mechanical shed.
Bing!
Viaduct. Sometimes, Percy pulls goods trains to the other end of the line. He usually enjoys these trips and takes the chance to talk with the engines from the mainland. But lately, life on the main line was proving to be difficult. The arches of the viaduct needed strengthening, and so the railway could stay open, repairs had to take longer. Engines were not allowed to run across the viaduct, not even express trains. Percy always prefers to sprint across the viaduct, but the repairs meant he had to crawl along at snail pace. The view from the top of the viaduct made Percy's wheels wobble as he crept carefully across. He couldn't wait for the repairs to be finished, just as much as he couldn't wait to get across that viaduct. One night, the small engine stayed at the big station, after returning from the other end of the line.
You look exhausted, little Percy. Long day?
Made longer by that viaduct,
Complained Percy.
My axles are scrapping me, and I feel so giddy.
Oh, I don't see what all the fuss is about, James butted in. Yeah, the viaduct makes us late and it's tedious, but it's no strain on us engines. You just need more exercise, Percy.
The weights aren't the problem, it's the heights. Don't you think if Stevenson himself wanted engines to fly, he'd have built us with wings?
No, wings wouldn't suit me. How about a propeller? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Edward, who had been listening, spoke quietly to Percy. Don't worry, Percy. Acrophobia is perfectly understandable for an engine to have.
What's it?
Fear of heights. Afraid of heights? You're so small you make Duncan's funnel look like a clock tower.
You know that's an exaggeration.
Whatever you say, my dear acrobatic.
Yes. Henry, you can shut up now. Joke's over.
That would be acrophobic, James. Oh, that too, I guess. The next day, James was shunting his own train in the yard, much to his disdain. This is ridiculous. The railway's never stopped growing, yet I'm always without a shunter whenever I come here. Has everyone got it in for me?
Hello, James. Is there a problem?
Oh, sir. Good afternoon, sir. No, there's no problem here, sir. Just mindless chatter. Must be the trucks, sir.
Yes, quite. Well, I'm glad you're here. I have a special job for you.
But of course, sir. You know I'm only too happy to help.
And helpful you'll be indeed. Lynn is in need of repairs, so I'll need an engine to take her goods train tonight.
Oh, I see. So you'll need me to cover for the engine covering for Lynn?
Almost. I need you to cover for Lynn.
Me, sir?
Of course. A mixed traffic engine like yourself should have no trouble.
This doesn't sound all that special. If you don't mind me saying, of course, sir. I mean, it's just feedback, sir, that's all.
It's special for you, James. If you were to help, you would be a really useful engine.
Well, since you put it like that, you can rely on me.
That's a good engine. Be ready to take the goods out for 9 o'clock. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must make some rearrangements.
Oh well. At least if it's night, hardly anyone will see me. Goods trains, goods trains. Night came, and James had just finished arranging his trucks when he saw Percy coming into the yard.
And where were you when I needed a shunter? Scared the trucks would be too high up to reach?
Percy wasn't in the mood for responding to James's jokes.
I was collecting goods from the harbour, and now I'm going to get ready for the post train.
You do that then. Oh, you need to be careful tonight.
Why? What's wrong?
I've heard the post train is travelling by airmail, miles and miles high up in the air.
Percy changed his mind.
Will you give it a rest? You know, sometimes you can be such a bunker.
Oh, lighten up. Anyway, it's Lynn's fault you're putting up with me tonight.
Well, I'll make sure to tell her that instead of going, you're just making jokes in the yard.
You can tell her that I made good time. Just watch me fly along the line. Well, don't watch actually, because it's goods and goods trains don't go well with my image. Let's just pretend this never happened. Good night, scaredy buffers.
That's what he sounds like.
Will you cut that out? We can't draw attention to ourselves like this.
Don't be so silly. There's no one else around.
Ears open, it stays that way.
The train carried on into the cold night. It hadn't been so bad in the yard, but out on the main line, the fog was creeping over the tracks, engulfing the silhouettes of the trees and fields.
Crosby Junction. Oh, we'll have to reduce speed. Oh no, not that viaduct. The workmen will notice me for sure.
Or so James thought. Not a sign of life greeted the red engine as he came to the viaduct. Yet the trucks and cranes were still in place, casting eerie silhouettes that poked out through the fog.
That's strange. I thought the night crew would at least be here. Those crane arms don't half give an engine chills when they're stood up like that. Can't even admire the view with all this fog. Percy wouldn't mind that. Fancy being scared of heights. Sure, the viaduct is under repairs, but it's never failed to hold an engine's weight.
"Whoa, James!" cried his driver and applied for brakes. They stopped, halfway across the viaduct.
What is it? There's a passenger train coming from the other side.
Well, that's strange. The signalman gave us clearance.
Well, don't expect me to budge for them. Not even if it holds up the main line. Forget it,
insisted his driver.
Just to be safe, we're moving.
James's driver tried to reverse the train, but the trucks, who didn't appreciate James's accusation earlier, weren't much help.
Oh, it's no good. We must warn them.
But the engine didn't whistle back, nor did it apply its brakes.
I see a saddle tank. That looks like Percy. What's he playing at? It can't be Percy. We left before him.
Whoever it is, they're going to hit us.
Get those coaches uncoupled quick! I'm trying. Stop the engine.
Can you hear that?
Oh, it sounds like a runaway to me. What? Oh, Godred, they're going to hit us. They'll ruin my paint. The passengers will get hurt. We might fall from the viaduct. Oh, no!
The engine crew wanted to jump clear. There was nowhere safe to jump to. Everyone was trapped as the tank engine came closer.
You can't flash me like this. Oh, no, this is it. Richard Wakefield,
What on earth's going on?
That wasn't just me, was it? No. The fireman clambered down from James's cab as best as he could. He tried to peer over the edge of the viaduct. Not a sight in the river. No ripples either.
We'll get down from there before you fall yourself.
How do we explain that to the signalman?
Never mind that. Just get me off this bridge. And if you think for 1 minute I'm going forward, you are sorely mistaken.
Much to James's horror, his crew couldn't get them to start. They were too shaken up to operate. The guard, who had come over to check the commotion, decided to run back for help. Percy was waiting at the station for the line ahead to be cleared. All he knew was that James was blocking the line and refusing to move.
That silly engine. He has the cheek to laugh at my acrophobia and then stick on the viaduct. He just loves to wind us up, doesn't he?
Moments later, a jittery James and his goods train reversed back into the yard, shunted by Molly.
Go on then, James. Where's the punchline? I just can't wait to hear.
Do you mind? Oh. The poor engine's had a terrible night. And if what he's told me is true, then you'd better be careful out there.
Right, all clear.
Percy left the station without another word. But he was still cross with James, although quite puzzled as to what actually happened.
Honestly, sir, I was well behaved, so I tried to take the goods like you asked,
But
and
thank
I...
you, James. That will do. The guard on your goods train told me about last night.
So you're not cross with me, sir?
Well, I must say I don't approve of blocking the main line, but under the circumstances it could not be avoided. Your crew fought quickly and spared us a runaway engine.
Runaway engine, sir?
The guard explained that the workmen on the viaduct saw your driver applying the brakes before both he and your fireman fainted. I have spoken with both of them, and they will need to stay in bed for a little while.
Workmen? But, sir, there was nobody on the viaduct last night.
I can assure you the repairs were being carried out. I know about everything that's happening on my railway. You will be assigned a relief crew, while your driver and fireman rest and recover.
Do you know if the workmen saw an engine on the viaduct?
Honestly, James, this is a railway. Everyone sees engines all the time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some phone calls to attend to. Your relief crew should be arriving within the hour, and then you can get back to work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, Percy, I owe you such an apology. You were right. It is scary up on that viaduct. Oh, I've been a right bunker.
What on earth happened last night?
Oh, I'm not telling. You'll only laugh.
I doubt it, but if you're sure.
No, wait, Percy. Stay. Oh. There was this engine on the line. Just a little tank engine, but I thought it was you for a moment. Maybe it's its way of teaching me a lesson, I don't know. But it was coming straight towards me with its coaches. It didn't stop. Not more than a few inches away from my buffers did it actually... It plunged through the rails and down into the river. It was horrible. I was so scared, Percy.
Shrieking like a lost soul?
Exactly. How do you know?
If I've got my dates right, yesterday was its day. It happens every year. It runs along the viaduct, keeping a lookout for naughty engines. If it sees one, it may run off the rails.
We've got a haunted Santa Claus.
Sorry, nerves. But it's a similar concept, I suppose. It seems like the ghost train taught you its lesson.
It did, for sure.
I've got to go and get my trucks from the harbour. You take it easy, James.
At the harbour, Percy found himself in trouble. His driver spoke to him severely.
That was despicable behaviour.
What are you talking about?
That twisted story that you were telling James.
Oh, he'll be fine. James can't have seen anything really. It's all just one big coincidence.
You shouldn't make fun of serious matters.
James was being horrid. He needed to learn a lesson. Anyway, what does it matter? It was only a pretend ghost, remember?
Percy was right. It was just a pretend ghost. Wasn't it?